Hello, you're welcome to Land Advantage once again. My name is Isaac Odiba. So we are going to be talking about why people don't invest in property when they have the opportunity to invest in property. We are going to be discussing why people don't invest when they have the resources to invest in property. To invest in property is the ability for you to have a foresight. So if you don't have a foresight, the number one challenge why people don't invest in property, even if they have the resources, they have the opportunity to invest in property, is they don't have a foresight most of the times. So most of the times you have people that have resources in terms of, okay, I have, if a property goes for 1 million naira, 500,000 naira, depending on the location, they are not comfortable with the location. A lot of people are not comfortable with the location and at the same time don't have the resources to buy the location that they feel that they should live. For the fact that you stay, let's say you stay in Ikeja, for you to buy a piece of property in Ikeja, let's say for you to buy a service apartment, to buy an apartment that is newly built now in Lagos, Ikeja, it might range from 24 million to 30 million, a three-bedroom flat. So now, if you can afford to pay three, 24 to 30 million, you can afford to live there. But another way you can also afford to live in such an environment is if you can probably pay probably in a year 2.5 to 3 million or even 5 million annually to someone that has been able to purchase it as a business, and you can pay that person from 2 to 5 million in a year. Fine, you can live in such an environment. But I've painted, like, giving us two scenarios that will afford you to live in somewhere in Ikeja, in a newly built apartment that costs from 24 million to 30 million. It's either you have the resources to buy it yourself and you stay, or you are able to pay from 2 million to 5 million for you to stay in such apartment. Now, if you cannot afford to buy and you can afford to rent, that does not mean that you have the capacity to stay there forever. So now, if you cannot buy a property that is that expensive, for the fact that you stay there also affords you opportunity to look at environments where you can afford based on your resources. So a lot of people have this misconception that if I stay in a particular location, I should be able to buy a piece of property, or a piece of property in that location. That is really false, because for you to rent is cheap compared to actually the actual cost of the property. So you can live in a place where you pay 500,000 and the cost of owning a property there is 10 million. If you cannot get that 10 million in bulk to buy, it means that you can only afford to rent in that environment. So you have to start looking at alternative. If I choose not to rent and I want to have my own property, can I access funding from either a bank, through cooperative, through mortgage institution? If you cannot afford such, you have to start looking at alternative where you can buy currently, and wait over a period of time, let that place develop if it's not developed, and you build. Or you as well, you can even start buy immediately and commence building, because most of the times Nigerians don't build house within a short period of time because we don't have the resources to build at the word go, at the word get go. We don't have the resources. Sometimes it takes people 2 to 3, 4, even 5 years to complete building their houses. So the earlier you go to a place whereby you can project in the next 5 to 6 years, 7 years, this place would have been totally developed. Buy in that environment, get a good architect to give you a lovely futuristic design, and you start building. Over a period of time, you become your landowner, you become a landlord, and you become a property owner. That's are the best ways to go about it. Not you thinking for the fact that you stay in Ikoyi, you rent in Ikoyi, you can afford to live in Ikoyi. Ikoyi might be too expensive for you to live in, to buy your own house, because the houses there are expensive. For the fact that you can pay a rent in VI does not mean you can actually buy a house in VI. Of course, that does not remove the fact that there's no possibility that people that live in Ikoyi or VI or Ikeja will not be able to buy, even if they are renting. But what I'm trying to carve out of all this is this: where you live is not a ticket for you it's not an express ticket for you to live in that environment when it comes to you buying your own piece of property because of the resources and the amount involved. So I want to believe that we have been able to understand my line of thought as it relates to where you currently live. Might not You might not have the resources to actually buy a piece of property there because it's developed, totally developed. The prices of houses and lands in those environments have increased over a period of time. So you might not have the bulk sum to buy, but go to environment where you can project the future and you invest. Thank you for listening to Land Advantage. Feel free to drop feel free to reach out to us at Hillsong Estate Nigeria. Feel free to reach us at Hillsong Estate Nigeria. Um, we have a couple of assets at the interchange where we are currently selling at a giveaway price. I'm also at a giveaway price. The interchange is along Lagos Ibadan Expressway, 35 minutes drive from Lagos, Alausa Ikeja, 35 minutes drive from Alausa Ikeja. Without traffic, you get to our estates. We have a couple of estates, up to like 5 estates in that axis now, and feel free to invest with us, and you'll be rest assured that this will be the best decision as it relates to property investment. Thank you once again. My name is Isaac Odila.